contracts are handled in light of the economic downturn brought about by COVID-19. The Institute of Economic Affairs argues that there should be no one-size-fits-all approach in attempts to ease the rent burden being borne by Kenyans.
As many suffer job losses and depressed incomes triggered by the adverse effects of COVID-19, the question of how the state can cushion tenants from paying rent has formed a large part of public debate. Indeed, Article 28D of the Pandemic Response Management Bill of 2020, sponsored by Nairobi Senator Johnson Sakaja, proposes that persons be prohibited from termination of lease or license of immovable property in connection with non-payment of rent or other monies for any contracts entered prior to the declaration of COVID-19 as a pandemic. The Institute of Economic Affairs now argues that following this route will be misguided.
We forget that these same investors have obligations to other people. So that one person might also have obligations. So for instance, if you're a property runner, government has decided that, look, you cannot dispose of your stuff. And on this other side, you're depending on the property to pay you money so that you can pay staff salaries. And you're told on one side you can't dispose of stuff, and then on the other side you cannot dismiss your client.
And just 3 days after President Uhuru Kenyatta announced that the country could, upon the advice of medical professionals, begin to open up select businesses through this remark.
Government will not delay in de-escalating the measures that I am announcing today the moment our experts, because it is they in whom we should trust, inform us that the risks have reduced significantly.
The IEA now warns that this should only be predicated by the ability of the country to engage in mass testing.
Unless government conducts significant tests, so that, like in the hundreds of thousands, so that we are always sure about what the level of infections are, it is possible that we might actually release everything from containment as it is now, and in another couple of months have to go back in. For as long as we don't know what the prevalence of infections are and who the asymptomatic citizens are, then it's just possible that we might actually see numbers go down, and as soon as we reopen, whether it's schools or people come back in, then there might be another one.
Julian's Amboko, NTV.